Order of operations. When we have problems that have more than one mathematical operation in them, we have to follow a certain order. The first thing that we need to work on is parentheses. Any math that's inside parentheses or other grouping symbols has to be done first. Other grouping symbols might include brackets or absolute values or radical symbols. When we've finished all of the grouping symbols, then we'll go to exponents. Evaluate all the exponents. Third level, this is a tricky one because it has two operations, multiplication or division left to right. So it could be division or multiplication, just whichever one comes first when you're at that level. And the last level, addition or subtraction left to right. This one also has two operations on the same level, so whichever one you come to first, you do. There is a memory trick that you might have heard. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. You just have to be very careful if you use this trick, and it uses the first letter. The trouble is it does not take into account that multiplication or division could be reversed. Also, it doesn't take into account that addition or subtraction could be reversed. So if you use this memory trick, be very careful with those. Let's look at an example. 5 minus 3 plus 2. This is a nice short problem, but it will bring in that left to right business that we have to be careful about. If we run through our list, there's no parentheses, there's no exponents, there's no multiplication or division. So we are on level 4. Addition or subtraction are equal as far as level. We have to go left to right. So we have to do 5 minus 3 first, which is 2, plus 2, and that gives us 4. If we did the addition first, 3 plus 2 is 5, and then did 5 minus 5, it would give us 0. So a different answer. That would be throwing parentheses on there that's not really there and applying the minus to both. So make sure with those, if you have addition or subtraction, go left to right once you get to that level. Let's look at another example. For this one, we have more things in it, so we'll just run through our list. First of all, we'll do parentheses. This means math on the inside of the parentheses, and we do have some to do. 9 minus 8 will give us 1. Because we have an exponent, we will keep it in parentheses. That would matter if we had a negative. We'll bring everything else down. If we had any more parentheses, we could do them on the same level. Level 2, we'll do exponents. So we can work out 1 to the third means 1 times 1 times 1. Any other exponents we can do on the same line. So 2 to the fourth, you can do it on the side. 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 will give you 16. Right, brings us down to level 3, multiplication or division left to right. We do have a multiplication. 3 times 16 will give us 48. And that brings us down to level 4. Add or subtract left to right. So 1 plus 48 is 49. Minus 1 will give us 48. And you should have a few steps here. Rule of thumb is to do one thought process per line. So it was okay to do both of the exponents on the same line. Next, we'll look at a problem that has nested grouping symbols. So it has layers inside each other. 4 nested symbols, if you only have one set, they will look like parentheses. If you have another set, it will probably look like brackets. And if you're unfortunate enough to have a third set in the same problem, it will look like braces. You want to start inside and work your way out. Nice and slow. They all do the same job as parentheses. They just look different so you can tell where one stops and another starts. So we're going to start at the innermost set the 5 minus 1. And we're going to do the math that's inside, which gives us 4. You have to keep your parentheses because there is an exponent, and you want to keep everything else. Make sure you don't drop a bracket. The most common error is dropping a bracket too soon. Right, now we are inside the bracket. Exponents go before division. So 4 squared is 16. That is not going to take your bracket off. So we'll bring everything else down. Right, now inside the bracket, 16 divided by 2 is 8. As you get ready to take your bracket off, look around it. Make sure there's no exponent. There's not. And right here, right in front, the 2 is right beside the bracket, which means multiplication. You have to do something to show that multiplication. You can use a parentheses, a dot, or a bracket. Doesn't matter. But do something to show the multiplication. And now it looks much simpler. We are finished with level 1. We have no exponents for level 2. Third level, multiplication or division. We do have a multiplication. 2 times 8 is 16. And then we will add and subtract left to right. So 5 plus 16 is 21 minus 1 gives us 20. Next, we're going to look at a problem in vertical form. This is a little bit of a rule breaker. It's as if there was a parentheses on the top and a parentheses on the bottom. So you're going to finish all your numerator, finish all your denominator, and last you will divide. So let's go ahead and do that. So 10 plus 8 on the numerator is 18. 7 minus 4 is 3 on the denominator. And then we do our division. So 3 into 18 will go 6 times. So it's as if there were parentheses understood to be on the top and on the bottom. Let's look at another problem that has a piece that is in vertical form. This looks like a very complicated problem. Actually, it will not be too bad. We should work on that vertical piece first and see if we can simplify it to one number. So we will start here and try to clean this up. So just concentrating on that. And so we'll do the numerator. 8 plus 2 is 10. We'll work the denominator. 3 plus 2 is 5. And then go ahead and divide if it will. 5 into 10 will go 2 times. If it doesn't divide evenly, it's not going to be such an easy problem because then you'd have to get a common denominator. Right, but now it's down just to a 2-step problem. We should multiply before we subtract. So 5 times 2 is 10 minus 1 gives us 9. So don't be scared by these problems that look a little complicated. Just go step by step.